Hey guys, this is Jonathan Beardsley. Lots going on in the vape community right now with new devices, different styles of vaping, advocacy, um, and I just wanted to discuss a few things on that topic. And I'm going to start by telling you a little bit about my vape journey. Um, Back in 2011, it was August. A friend of mine at work got this thing online, and he was going to quit smoking. What he got was a little sig-alike from v2sigs.com, something very similar to this guy right here. Um, I'll talk more about that in a second. Um, I saw that he quit smoking with it, so I decided to give it a whirl, and I went back to my desk and ordered one. Um, I got a few different flavors, got one, a kit with a backup device in it, and for about 3 months, I quit smoking. Um, a stressful situation came up and I went back to cigarettes. I still carried my V2 around, but I didn't really use it that much. I was back smoking a pack and a half a day of cigarettes for about 2 years. At the time, there was a couple other things on the market other than a cigarette, but not much really of any substantial greatness. But almost 2 years ago, in July of 2013, I went on a vacation, and a friend of mine had gotten an ego kit, and she had been quit for about a year. So I decided that as soon as I got back, I was going to go do that. So I went up to Mountain Oak Vapors in Cleveland and got set up. Within a couple of days, I'd returned that ego and traded it in on an MVP because I had problems with the ego kit. Um, Within 6 days of walking into the Mountain Oak Vapors for that first time, I had completely quit. For that week, I smoked maybe 2 or 3 cigarettes a day, and for me, that's all it took. That on that sixth day, I smoked one cigarette, and I decided that that was it. I was going to vape, and I left 2 half packs of cigarettes out in the carport. Finally, after about 2 months, I threw them away. Um, for me, it was that MVP and a pro tank that did it for me. That got me off the cigarettes. I still wasn't satisfied. I still, um, I didn't exactly have cravings for cigarettes, but I wanted more out of my vape experience. And so my journey continued. I got into rebuilding, had a lot of fun with it, did some cloud chasing. Um, I went through cycles of tanks, rebuilds, tried about everything. And now I'm using Subtank. And I love it. I like the rebuild. I don't need a ton of airflow, but that's me. That's how I got to where I am today. Um, More along the lines of the purpose of this video is these guys. Um, I'm volunteering with TSFA, Tennessee Smoke Free Association, and being involved in anywhere that I can in advocacy. And the reason for that is I don't want to have to go back to these. And even more importantly, my friends that are still smoking that haven't made the switch yet, I don't want them to have to be restricted to these to get off cigarettes. I have a lot of friends that still smoke. I have a lot of friends that have made the switch to vaping, and I've made a ton of friends in the vaping community. But um, I know that some advocates that regularly do videos are doing some of these videos, but I wanted to do my own because I really believe that this is important. Um, this is one of the V2 SIGs that I've had for a while now. It's kind of cool in that it's like a cigarette, but it doesn't give you the experience. It doesn't give me the experience that I need to stay off cigarettes. This is a tobacco. It's awful. Um, switch out to a new cartridge so you can see the difference here. This is a cherry, and it's terrible. Absolutely awful. Uh, that's V2 Cigs. Now, I've got a few other things here that I want to show you. And the reason for this is what we are looking at being restricted to if deeming regulations go through, if Big Tobacco gets what they want in the states, um, and uh, regulations. The deeming regulations at the FDA right now are basically going to put all your vape shops out of business and hand the entire industry over to Big Tobacco. And there might be one or two of these cig-like companies that are not run by Big Tobacco that survive, maybe. But they're looking at completely getting rid of the open vapor system, which is a refillable tank. Picked up a few things at the store today to kind of show you, and I was going to give you my experience on them. So the first one is a brand new V2. It's a tobacco flavor disposable. That's about as much vapor as you can get off of one of these, and it's very strong in nicotine throat hit, but it's very inconsistent at the same time. This is a 1.8%, 18 milligram. It's, you get one choice of flavors, or two choices. You get menthol or tobacco. No different types of tobacco, just menthol or tobacco. So if you don't like it, you move on to another brand that has roughly the same choices. Blue. I did find a tobacco flavor, a menthol, and a cherry. So we'll try the tobacco first. And interesting thing on blue, if you can read that, 20 to 24 milligram per disposable. So they're basically self-admittedly inconsistent hits. Any of you out there that are at 6 milligram, you know that 4 milligrams of nicotine is a fairly large difference. Oh, all right. $5 off for blue rechargeable kit. Throw that away. All right, so we have nifty little mouthpiece cap, and we have a tab here to pull off the airflow. You'll notice that this is not twist off cartridge. So disposable, you just toss the whole thing away when it's done. Pull that little guy off. Let's give it a try. It's a little bit better vapor production than the V2, but the flavor is terrible. And the deeming regulations, well, what they're pushing for out there is the removal of flavor choices. So even though you can walk into a liquor store and get cherry vodka or cotton candy vodka were going to be restricted to tobacco flavors. This is why we fight. Okay, the cherry is going to be pretty much the same. We'll just try it, get it, see what kind of flavor it has. So now this is different. A little different cartridge, maybe changing times. It's not going to have the little cover, so this is probably a little older model, which is probably means that flavor is going to be a little oversteeped. Again, more of a cherry tobacco flavor. Not the vape experience I like. Not going to satisfy me and keep me off cigarettes. For me, at this point, I could probably stay off cigarettes. But that's not the experience I want to continue vaping. I'm more concerned, like I said, about other people and their ability to quit smoking. These devices don't work. They do not deliver a consistent vape. Not to mention the safety concerns with dry hit phenomenon, which you would get more often with this type of device. Next up, we've got the Views. This is actually a rechargeable device. This one was about $10, and you can replace the cartridge. Open it up. You've got a little manual here, the USB charging attachment, and then pull this little guy out, and you have another package. You can punch it through the back, pull it out, and you're ready to vape. Oh, that's terrible. That's disgusting. Now, the package does not tell you anywhere on this package. Now, I haven't looked at the manual because I just opened it, but nowhere on this guy does it say what nicotine strength. And did I mention there's no choices in nicotine strength on these devices when you're looking at them in the store? The only ones that really showed the nicotine were the V2, and they show it right there, showing the nicotine strength. Okay, blue shows it after you purchased it. You can see it on the back of the package. Views, unless it says somewhere on the inside, I have not found anywhere that shows the nicotine strength. Not on the sides, bottom, top, nowhere. If we look at this package here, this is what you can see on the outside. It doesn't show it either. And it doesn't show it even on the back of this little package. Oh, that is disgusting. That's some kind of tobacco flavor, and it is awful. Now, these, you can replace the cartridge. I imagine that would go away should their regulations pass through. But you can buy these for about $6. Now, each one of these devices that I've showed you, except for this one, I bought today. Each one of these, this was about $10. The V2 disposable was the cheapest. It was about $6. The blues were each about $10 a piece. Um, Honestly, the V2, um, as far as flavor would be concerned, I'd say probably the best. And it's not great. It's not great at all. Um, Guys, I want to keep using these. When these break, I want to be able to go out and buy more. We've got to get involved. A lot of you guys out there, you can come up with excuses. I've got a family. I've got a full-time job. I spend a lot of time with the Tennessee group here and helping out in any way that I can. We've got to get out there and advocate. It's so important. If you want to use these devices, then don't advocate. If you want to use these, get involved in your community, get involved in advocacy, and be heard. Thanks for checking it out. Take care.